Hello, everybody. Welcome to a late night, the Trusty After Dark edition of Trusty's Vintage Live Sale. It has been a very long day today, and if you hopefully you're finding my channel, you're finding my show. I am currently in rehearsals for a performing in a show, which means I can't do my normal live sale times. So hopefully you might have had a chance to jump onto Nancy's channel, This Overstuffed House, earlier this evening. She is taking my 8 p.m. slot, and I am taking her 11 p.m. slot. And all I have to say is, what is she thinking? Like, why do people do these late night shows? So, yeah, this, like Catherine just said, this is bedtime. This is one of those cases where I'm not normally in bed by this time. It's only 10 p.m. my time. So, but this is when I'd be at least thinking about it or wanting to wind down. So we shall see who ends up joining and who are the night owls of my normal crew and who pops out. Jerry's a night owl. So we got Jerry coming in because she's also on the Eastern time zone. Halem's on the Eastern time zone. Cam's Folly I don't see all that often, so I'm not sure what.
No, welcome, Cam.
So thanks. So maybe I'll pick up those late night owls, or maybe I'll pick up the West Coast, who normally thinks my sales are too early. So thank you for joining us, Cam. Cheryl, okay, see, now this is testing my time zone knowledge. She's in Canada, but I can't remember what part of Canada she's in. I just shipped something to her. I want to say she's on Ontario, but I don't know if that's my time zone or if that's your time zone, Katie.
I think I think she's in Ontario, but I don't know what time zone that is.
Yeah, like the line's somewhere near there, but I don't know where it splits up. Oh, we got Tiger in. Tiger's just a couple hours earlier for Tiger. So, this is totally normal or totally doable for an evening sale for Tiger. So thanks for joining us, Tiger. And let's see. I'm gonna have got my testing again. So Sheila coming in. I want to say she's in the Midwest. So I think so. This isn't too bad. Book on the West Coast. So
Hi, Sheila.
Oh, got another late night owl. Got stubbed at the stash, staying up late.
Hi, Sam.
Susan coming in from the Midwest, so not too bad, just a little bit different. Jan, not sure how long you'll last. I totally understand. Another one from Michigan. So we'll see how long people can make. And in my younger days, I used to stay up, and I still, to a certain extent, still do stay up pretty late. Okay, so Toronto is the same time zone as okay.
So Toronto. Okay.
I mean, if I figure out where that line goes up, because I thought that was closer to like Michigan, and that's on the Eastern. So it's not too bad for Cheryl. And some people have problems from the West Coast to join my sale earlier because then it's only like 6 p.m. West Coast time. People are doing dinner and stuff like that. So
you might get a whole new audience. You never know.
You never know. We got Tammy's coming back, so she's like the East Coast.
Yeah, I think
she's in Florida, isn't she? Yeah, so
she's near me.
Mary's on the East Coast. Pop quiz. Kara. I can't remember where Kara's based.
I don't know where Kara's from, but I'm glad you're here, Kara.
And Kat's here, so she's got the Midwest, or well, not Midwest, but she's a Central time zoner. So not too bad. Oh, Sheila's from Kansas. Okay, so we got another Midwest.
Oh, Kansas. Okay.
So Sheila's from Kansas, and Susan is also. I think Susan is from Kansas too. So we've got two sunflower staters in today. I've got another East Coast, and let's see. See if I try not to miss anybody. We got Blackie Jr. I can't remember where Blackie's based. So thanks for joining us, Blackie.
That's Fiona. So welcome, Fiona.
Maine and New Hampshire have talked about joining the time zone to the east. Atlanta gets dark at 3:30 in parts of Maine right now.
Wow, Sam.
Yeah, it's daylight savings time is not always a fun thing.
No. It gets dark around 5 here, which I find a bit annoying because to me that's still very early.
So, but now I'm trying to figure out my geography. So Maine and New Hampshire are already on the Eastern time zone. So then it must be the one that, is it Nova Scotia and Greenland? What time zone is east of the Eastern time zone? I literally have no idea.
Don't know. I need a map.
I think Nova Scotia is technically east, but I don't know what time zone that they're in. And then once you get past that, I think you hit Greenland before you hit Iceland, but I don't know where the time zones drop. Got Sherry joining us, and we got another new name, Her Vintage Studio. First time here. Thanks so much for joining. Also an East Coaster. See, I go later, and I'm finding East Coast people. I thought I'd find more West Coast people.
There's some night owls in the community. I'm a night owl myself, so this time is great.
Yeah. So hopefully you guys, thank you so much for hanging out. Thanks for finding me. We'll see how these go. Oh, there's Nancy. Hope you had fun earlier. You were probably in the flip side going, wait, it's still like it's not dark enough yet. Like who are these people that are coming to my show? All right. So Newfoundland or Newfoundland. Oh, I should know that. Come from away. So Newfoundland is the time zone east of Eastern. But I'm telling you,
Oh
Sam,
yeah, come from away.
Sam, if you guys try to split away from the United States and become your own time zone, the rest of America will just like cast you off and like, yeah, we're not going to think about you anymore. That's too many time zones to keep track of. Just in the vintage live sales, people will get freaked out if you don't specify which time zone you're talking about because it gets too confusing.
The other day I made a promo for something and I totally forgot to put Eastern, and I'm normally very good at that. And like 3 people messaged me, I don't know when to show up to your show. Yep. I'm like, did I not put the time on there? I was very confused. And they said, oh no, we need the time zone. I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Well, at least in your case, I would guess Eastern because you're Eastern, but the cases where I forget to do it, well, I'm in the Central time zone. So then people are like, oh, so are you going to do that at your time? No, I still talk about Eastern. I just forgot to say it. So Kara's in Georgia. So she's also on the East Coast, and she says she's up decorating her tree. So
that's nice.
Good time to do it. Just have us in the background, so you don't have to worry about keeping track with the chat. Katie, Cindy's loving your hat, Katie.
Thank you, Cindy.
Katie's always looking so good. No matter whose channel she's on, she's looking better than the host.
I have to say, I love the feather.
That is cool.
And if you don't know me, I do actually have a little box of emergency feathers because Louie likes to eat the feathers out of my hat. So I've ordered more feathers from Amazon in case that my feather goes missing. I do have extra feathers now.
I got chastised. First, I'll show that. So Halem is already putting out the signal for the night owl. I'm noticing that Halem is signing on, but not Melody. So I don't know. Maybe Melody's not as much of a night owl. So, but I was chastised last night because I wore this hat on Katie's show last night. When I'm on Katie's channel, I'll try to match her. She always looks better. But I
you look good.
But I did not talk about the little clip. Nate said I looked like the guy from Sound of Music. I think he tried to call me the Nazi. But so that is actually the feather thing actually came from Katie. So it's got a little, I don't know.
I think it's a pheasant.
Grouse, pheasant.
I don't know.
And it's a pin. So I pinned it right on there. And so it's got I don't know I guess it's not really a feather, more like a brush.
Yeah, I don't know where it's from. It actually came on one of my hats and I wore it for a while and I wanted to give it to Patrick for his hats. And I don't know where it's from or its story other than that it came on one of my vintage Knox hats, but I think it's fun.
Yeah. So let's see. Okay, so Nancy's saying it's dark there by 8. I'm in the same boat, I think, as Nate. We're pretty much like by around 4, it's heavy dusk. By 5, it's dark. It'll change again. Everything adjusts. But yeah, that's what happened. Oh, Bev has joined us.
It could be lighter in the evenings.
Miss Sheila. Oh, Miss Irene. Irene was one of the winners of the mystery box grand prize from the Just One More Dachshunds, and I got an email that somebody was sending your box, I think today, Irene. So many people were apologetic that they hadn't gotten them out earlier. And I remember that I get a subject or an email, and the subject line was Irene Fink. Okay, either she's dead or someone wants to tell me something. So you were not dead. We were sending your box. There's Melody. Melody stayed up. Melody stayed up for me. Thanks, Melody.
Thank you, Melody.
So for those of you who are joining in, goat hair. Okay.
Goat hair.
I did not know that.
Very cool, Halem.
So for those that joined late or hadn't, figured out what was going on, why I'm coming in late, I am doing a show. I have been cast as Mr. Wormwood in Matilda the Musical. And we have rehearsals on Thursday evenings, which overlap when I normally do my sale. So what I had done, and Nancy is here in the chat. Nancy does her sales at 11 p.m. Eastern. I was doing mine at 8 p.m. Eastern. So I reached out to her and asked if she wanted to swap. This is not, 8 p.m. is not my time slot, but I had been doing that slot since May 12th. And I basically gotten used to it. I think some people had gotten used to finding me there. So I wanted to make sure somebody was doing a sale. So she was gracious. She switched me, and she was the first one to say, when is your show finished? We'll swap back after your show's over. So she doesn't have to do that because again, none of us own our time slots, but appreciate those of you who are staying up late or that, specifically or sought me out, or maybe you're finding me for the first time. So thanks for joining. With me, as she's been talking, is Katie from Vintage and Vinyl. She is my voice from above. She will be helping me keep track with the sale tonight. And in the chat is Soul Nate from New Zealand, the third part of our triptych. And he will be the one who's officially recognizing the first claim in the chat. For those of you who might be new to me or not used to seeing my show, I pretty much work like most of the other shows that are out there. Biggest difference is I do not do offer ups. So there are no auctions. There's no bidding. All I do is I will show you the item. I will give you the price. That is the price you will pay. And then I will give you the item number, and you need to type that item number into the chat. If you are not seeing the hellos, Kelly's joined us, Dana has joined us. If you are not seeing the hellos, you are not in the chat. You are in the comment section. Do not enter your claims in the comment section. So you need to be using the app if you're on a mobile device, or if you're on your computer, you should be able to see the chat. And it's better to be in live chat than top chat if you want to see everything that's going on. So we will relatively, I don't have that many items because this is later than normal, and I still have to work tomorrow. So I'm not going to be doing the 7-hour, evening chat sale, whatever show. We're just going to kind of cover some things and hopefully still have some fun, just a little bit later than normal.
And make sure, guys, that you are refreshing often so you stay up to date with the feed. And remember, you will always see yourself first, typically in the chat. So wait for Nate's announcement down below so that he can tell you who was the exact winner.
So Jerry from My Flea Market Treasures, there was a little bit of confusion last week, not so much in who claimed it, but then when it was paid for, there were different names started popping up. And it turned out that her sister had won it, and they were going to turn it into a family affair. And they were going to go over to the mom, and she likes opening the gifts. So I'm glad that she enjoyed opening up.
Oh, that's fantastic.
All right. Wait.
Wait, what did Nate
What
say?
did I miss?
Okay, I got to scroll back.
I've got a hello. There we
go.
go.
Matilda the musical. Good review.
Now we've sold out for the all naked Annie production, so now we're doing the all naked Matilda production. So I'll give a sneak peek of one. It's not formal, but we did start looking at costumes and how we're going to do the show. And if you know Matilda from the book or the movie, Matilda's father, she does turn his hair green.
I love it, Patrick.
So we're starting with an Oompa Loompa lit wig, and we're going to figure out how to make that my green hair. So
it's very Oompa Loompa.
Yeah, so I will definitely be sharing promotion shots and information as the show gets closer. It doesn't actually perform until February. There are 70 children in the show, so I may be dead. There's an entire possibility. But because there's so many kids, we are in rehearsals for a very long time, so that the kids will learn stuff. So it doesn't happen until February, but it means every Thursday from now until then, I'm on stage rehearsing. So again, thanks so much to Nancy for swapping with me and basically agreeing. I could have just gone to 11, but working with me, and also I know she's been promoting me on her channel. I've been promoting her on my channel, letting people know that we've kind of swapped. So and Cindy's here. I always want to call her Mimi. Cindy's here. So we've got Mimi's Treasure Cottage and we've got Mimi's Treasure Shop. So they're going to go battle royale head to head. We're going to see what ends up happening.
And send Patrick all your good vibes for being with the children for as long as he is.
They might need my good vibes. I don't kill them. So Mr. Wormwood hates children. So I'm just off in the side, kind of being a method actor, being like, don't talk to me. Don't come near me. So Jacqueline is here from JW Van Minimal. And, all right. So hopefully I didn't miss anybody, but if I did, I apologize. And yeah, Nancy's a community theater person too. So really appreciate, we all look, and the community is good too. So we all look out for each other. So, all right. So we are going to drift Katie into the ether. So she will still be talking, but we are going to focus on starting the sale. And just as I normally do, first item for my sale are my mystery boxes. So
Oh, I think Patrick left the show. We'll see if he comes back in. I don't know what happened. That is very weird. Yes, and we do help everyone in the community, and I like that, Nancy. Community theater is fantastic, so I'm really glad you're a part of that. Oh, Patrick's back.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know. All of a sudden, I just kind of disappeared. I don't know what happened. So I do start with the mystery box. So the mystery boxes are a little bit different than everything else that I sell. The mystery boxes, because they're so popular, I make you guess the number instead of telling you the number. So basics, mystery box will always include a mint-in box, a vintage maxi pad. I am coming down to my last probably maybe 20 or so. So they're going to be limited editions going to be left. But it will always include a maxi pad. The boxes sell for $15. They will have between $25 and $30 worth of merchandise in them. These boxes will be custom packed based on where I'm shipping. So if I'm shipping them farther away, they'll be lighter weight so that we can keep the shipping cost to around $10. If you're in the Midwest, I can usually ship a little bit of a heavier box for about that same price. So you can get some heavier stuff. But value wise, you're still going to be around the $25 to $30 range. The difference is, again, I'm not going to tell you the number. I'm going to give you the range. So you get the first two people that guess the number will get a mystery box for $15. If you have not purchased from me before, just make sure you send me an email to the email address on the screen so that I know who to invoice and where I'm going to be shipping it to so we can calculate the shipping. The mystery box is $15, and this box, the number falls between 50 and 60. So between
and
50
Cheryl's
and
got
60.
a great comment there. So that is so awesome, Cheryl.
That's great. I'm glad you enjoyed. Cheryl won a mystery box for the fundraiser, for the Just One More Dachshund fundraiser. So yeah, I have fun making the mystery boxes. I will say that who just did one? Was it Calypso Cat? No. Was it? Yeah. Was it Claudia K?
I think she did an unboxing. Calypso
Who just
Cat.
did the unboxing? Was that Calypso Cat?
That was Calypso
Okay.
Cat.
So Calypso Cat opened up the mystery box that I'd sent to her, and she bought a mystery box during the Just One More Dachshund. So those were a little bit different, and I actually have more of those available. So those will be coming up in a little bit. But it was funny because those got packed in such a blur, and I had people helping me pack. I'm watching her video going, I have no idea what's in that. She's starting to unwrap something. I'm like, yeah, I don't even remember the shape of that item. I don't remember what that is. There was one item that was big. I'm like, yeah, I don't know what it is.
And Nate has spoken. So the mystery boxes go to My Flea Market Treasures, Jerry, and Calypso Cat.
All right. So Calypso Cat's getting another one. So Calypso Cat and then Jerry. So we'll make sure something nice goes in for Jerry's mom again for My Flea Market Treasures.
And it's kind of fun to shop for the mystery boxes. I've done a few, and it's really neat kind of curating items. I have fun with that.
Yeah. So like what I'll typically do, it doesn't matter now. You guys you've already won them. When I make them, I try and put a lot of little things in there. So that way, just from the variety of stuff, you just have fun. That it's like, okay, maybe this something is not like one of the things that I can't remember who it was. I think it was either Calypso Cat or that one might have been somebody else. Somebody did a video and they were doing a mystery box for somebody else, and they were putting stuff that she got from me into the mystery box. And I thought that was hilarious. And I thought it was great. Like I wasn't offended at all, but it was one of those cases that she had donated. Claudia K, that's who it was. Claudia K had donated a mystery box to a winner from the Just One More Dachshund. She was one of the resellers who volunteered to donate a prize. And so she was making that box. She put in a deck of cards that were still sealed. I'm like, I recognize those. She put in a Pierpont cup plate. I'm like, I recognize that. So it's a kind of fun, it's one of those recycle, pass on, you never know who's going to enjoy it. So Sandra K, I opened 2 of my mystery box. Oh, that's right. So she won one of the grand prizes. She won 5 mystery boxes. So she's already opened 2 of them, and you will get the other 3, but that's great. Yep. Not likes red.
That's
like
fantastic.
You got those. And yep, Sam's gotten a couple of mystery boxes from me, and if I can, I'll try and tie things. If I know the person who gets them, I'll try and if I know what they collect and I happen to have something. So Sam got some, ancillary items to his travel menu collection. And so suddenly he is now a restaurant wear collector.
Oh,
Whether he
that's
wants it or not, he's got a restaurant wear collection. So, okay. What is also going on tonight is, and we're going to see how this ends up going, but I do not do auctions during my live sales, but I do have auctions on my eBay channel. And so there are currently 3 items that are currently listed and available right now. They just went live and they will end during my live sale next week. So the three items that are up for auction, they are up for auction on eBay. One is this Panetta brooch. So it's a signed brooch by Panetta. And Katie helped me do some research on this. And I actually found a piece of information today, Katie, that I hadn't shared with you.
Oh, good.
I found a set in Worth Point. Somebody had sold a set of a brooch along with the matching earrings, and they called it Angel Skin Coral.
Okay, that's helpful.
It may still be a faux coral, but it's trying to replicate angel skin coral, and it's in a coral gold tone setting. So Panetta does sell for some pretty good bucks. So this is something I decided to put onto the eBay, and it does have, I don't think you really get it, but it does have the little arch there on the stone, above the stone.
Very good quality 60s piece.
Yes. So this one, I believe, is gold tone. Panetta did do some in gold, but they were known for costume jewelry. So this one's not marked as gold, so I don't think it is, but it's definitely.
Did you find that stone? Because I was thinking maybe it was milk glass, but
they called it the onion. They called it onion skin coral. So they're saying that the stone itself is coral as well.
Interesting.
But which makes sense because it's in a coral setting. And it's not. It looks white, but it's got a very, very, very blush. Like off-white pinky.
Well, that would make sense with the coral, but it is gorgeous, just stunning.
And Catherine hit it right on the head. Good for you, Catherine. And that was the term. If they were calling it brutalist,
I would agree.
I don't see this as brutalist. To me, brutalist is an architecture, and this isn't quite the same. But this did get a couple of the other posts that had similar settings. They called it brutalist. So my eBay setting does use the term brutalist as well.
Well, they make some brutalist wall art in the 50s and 60s that are very much akin to that. So I would call it brutalist, but yes, primarily the architecture style comes to mind.
This is another item that has gone onto my eBay.
Ooh.
It's a metal tin store display for Bundt world famous candies. So you've got the Bundt world famous candies. Unfortunately, there's a little bit of a wear because it's got the slanted top, and this would have faced the customer. There's a little place here for a little placard, what the price was or what you were selling. But then the door opens up and it sits on where the graphics are. So that's why the graphics, unfortunately, are a little bit worn because that's where the door hits. But other than that, the front graphics are in great condition. There's no dents. The glass is still intact. It's a great piece. The company stopped being used by the Bunty name in the early 40s or early 50s or late 40s. I can't remember. I think it's in the listing. So this is I think it's early 50s, but I think this is from the 40s. So it's just this great candy display piece. And it's not very heavy. The box will have to be relatively large because it's relatively large, but it's not very heavy. So it shouldn't be too expensive to ship.
You guys might have to fight me on that auction. That's pretty cool, Patrick. I love it.
Yeah, I was pretty excited to find that. So those two are up. And then the third item that is up, there's really no point for me to show it. But for those that have been following, the 12 of the 21 Trusty travelers have returned. So
Yay,
I took photographs of everything that's come back. They're all in the listing. I tried to group them. So there's like a metal lot, a glass lot, a porcelain lot, a toy lot, just kind of mixed together all items. For those that don't know, the Trusty Travelers were as kind of a geocaching game those boxes were sent out. People were they'd get a box, take an item out, put another item in, and it circulated, and they all were supposed to come back to me, but there are still 9 missing. So I've already waited a month from when I was planning to sell them, and I need to write the check to the fundraiser by the end of this month. So they're going up for sale. So if I get more, I will still sell them because there was a question about the legality. I'm not sure who owns these boxes, if they're technically still mine or if they, because I said they were for the fundraiser, we have to figure out. But whenever I get them, we will sell them and the money will still go to the fundraiser, but it may have to be in a separate check. So we shall see. But that you can see what was donated. There's some really nice items that were donated, and it's a very mixed lot. It was one of those cases I wasn't sure the best way to do it. So we're going to have some fun. I mean, we sold a recipe box with recipes from people in the vintage community that sold for $76. Okay, that recipe box was not worth $76. That was somebody that was being very generous. That was Mr. and Mrs. Berkeley Girl being very generous and making a donation to the fundraiser, and they got the recipe box. That's kind of what I feel will be here. There might be a few things, and there's jewelry. There might be a few things in there people will like, but in general, you're not buying just the one item. You're donating to the JOMDR. Yeah. So
and
those are the three items.
That is awesome.
So those are the three items that are up for auction. They will all end next week, and so we'll talk about more at that time. All right. There are still some items that I had from the Just One More Dachshund, things that ended up not going to mystery boxes, some other donations that had come in, a box that I found that I forgot to sell, little things like that. So this is one of the items. This was donated by a local antique store near me. And initially it was going to go into a mystery box, but it's not super, super heavy, but it's probably over a pound by itself. And so it was adding too much weight to the mystery boxes that I was trying to put together. So I decided to just go ahead and sell it on its own. It's a really nice piece. It's got a really nice clamshell pierce to press the handle onto the clay. It's an art studio piece. It is signed. I could not find any specific information because the artist's name was Hammond. So I just didn't find any particular studio, but they did a really nice job. And probably what this one was, as opposed to being a drip glaze, it was a dip glaze. So they would have painted it all in the white, and then they would have dipped it into the brown glaze to get then this brown color that went onto it. It's in perfect condition. It's got the little thumb rest right on the top to actually use it, make it if you want to use it as a jug. It's just a cute little piece, and it's $10. And yes, Peterson, it was a box that I found. I almost threw up. Yeah, I started moving things around, and I'm like, oh, what's that? I'm like, oh my God, there's more dogs. So yes, there were some surprises. So anyway, so this is $10 for the pottery jug from Hammond, $10 by giving me number 14. $10, 14 for the Hammond jug.
I like the colors and the glaze on that. It's very neutral. So
it's a very pretty piece.
Very good.
It really is. It'd be great for a floral arrangement. It'd just be great for just more of a rustic or primitive just appearance, just for that kind of a decor.
And I see some people claiming in the chat, but I'm going to wait for Nate to confirm, just because my chat's a little slow and I don't want to say anything that's incorrect. So we'll see. Maybe Nate needs to put another hamster on the wheel there. Or I could just be very slow on my end. And yes, number 14 does go to Sam Doyen. So congratulations, Sam, for picking up that gorgeous piece.
All right. Thank you so much, Sam. All right. Before I lose too many people fall asleep, I do actually have 3 additional mystery boxes from the Just One More Dachshund Rescue. These boxes are different. So these boxes, I think people still liked them, but what's different about these is I have really no control over what went into them. These were donations that I just had so many donations. I could not sell everything individually. So I tried to split them up into different boxes. Unfortunately, 2 of the people that purchased boxes last at this fundraiser chose to not complete their order. We'll just leave it at that. So happy doxies. So anyway, so those 2 boxes are going back up for sale. And then what it turned out is by the time I finished all the boxes, I discovered I actually had enough to make a 3rd box. So I have 3 Just One More Dachshund Rescue boxes available. What you need to recognize is these have basically already been built. The items have already been divided. They are 14 by 14 by 6 boxes. So they're relatively large, and they're in the 4 to 6 pound range. range. So if you're in California, it's going to be a little bit more expensive to ship these, but because I'm not making them from scratch, I don't have a lot of control. So just keep that in mind. And I don't make anything off the shipping. It is what it is. But these boxes are going to be a little bit bigger and a little bit heavier because of some of the stuff that's going into them. But they are great boxes. If you saw the unboxing video that Claudia Cat, Calypso Cat from Calypso Antiques did, even I was amazed at how much was in there. And I made it. I'm like, wow, that was totally worth $25. So anyway, these boxes are all 25.
Cheryl is asking if they're all dog items.
No, they all have dog items in them, but they are not the dog related items. Those all sold. So what I have is a couple just dog stuff that were left over. That I found in a box. Shh.
Only for the night owls. You heard it here.
yeah, it is. It is what it is. So there will be some dog items spread through them. But most of the dog items that were left, I think they were figurines, but they were all relatively small. So those were not really adding to the weight. So those shouldn't have a huge impact. But so you will have some dog, no doxies. There's just some random dogs. But a lot of it was just other stuff that had been donated that was always scheduled to be in a mystery box. So, all right. So these mystery boxes are a little bit more expensive. So these are $25 and all $25 for those who don't know about the fundraiser. 100% of the money goes directly to the doxy. So this is not for me. I am just the conduit to get this money to them. We are hovering at around $4,500 is what we raised.
Yay, that's fantastic.
With the sale of these items, we will be over 4,500. So we won't quite make it to the 5,000 that we hoped for, but we made a lot. And we made 3,500 last year. So we added 1,000 to what we added last year. And these were all from donations from around the country. They actually included the UK and Canada. So these are the mystery boxes. There are 3 of them available. I don't remember the number. There are 3 of them available. So the first 3 people that guess the number between 60 and 70 will get a JOMDR mystery box. So between 60 and 70 for $25, you will get a mystery box.
Oh, that is very exciting, Patrick, that we can have another shot to help the dogs because they need our help so much. And if you go onto Dawn's page, man, those dogs will just break your heart and you want to help them all. They're so darling and they need so much care. And I see Delbert's just joining us in the chat. So welcome, Delbert.
Hey, Delbert.
People tuning in. Wow, the numbers are coming in fast. Ooh, okay. I see 2 already.
All right.
Let's see.
And remember, you can guess more than once. Looks like some people are guessing once and then stopping. You can just enter a number and then keep guessing until we announce the 3 winners.
And I don't know why, but my chat is moving slow in StreamYard, Patrick. Is yours moving kind of at a snail's pace?
I just had a big jump, and so I do see 3 now. So I think I only see 3, but I will wait.
I think I only see 3 too, and I see Nate's message. So Lemmy Lemon, JW Van Minimal, and Blue Flamingo. Congrats.
There you go. So thank you so much for picking those up. Writing them all down. Lemmy Lemon and Lori at Blue Flamingo. Excellent. All right. So thank you for picking those up. So that should comfortably push us over the $4,500 mark. So I really appreciate everyone that supported the Doxy Rescue. So thank you so much for that. Next item, moving from dogs to some tobacco. So we've got some sin items going on tonight. So this one was a little fun item that I'd picked up that initially I didn't know 100% I knew it was for tobacco because it came with the box. So I don't know if this was one of those that would have had the little cellophane, like the little plastic clear box on the front or the clear cover on the front. But so it says right on here, it's the original Phil's Easy tobacco pouch. And then if I continued reading, I'd see the squeeze the corners to fill the pipe. So what this is, there's a zipper on the top. And when it opens it up, there's a little ring at the bottom. And I couldn't figure out what the ring was for. And I guess what the ring is for is to keep it rigid so that when you squeeze the bottom, that's how you would fill your pipe. So you'd have your pipe underneath it and you would just squeeze the bottom and the tobacco would come out. So in some ways, it's brilliant because as you then put tobacco in the top, the oldest tobacco is what's coming out the bottom. So you always are going to
Very clever.
You're never going to have old tobacco. It's always going to be recycling itself. It says right on there, the Yorkshire with the patent number. It was, I guess, designed to wear like on your person. There's a little clip to put that right on your belt. And then there's a little extra pouch here that I'm not 100% sure what you would put there because it seems a little small to actually put your pipe. So, but maybe
is it narrow?
Maybe you could put your pipe stem in there and then have the pipe bowl sticking out. But it's pretty narrow. And once this was filled with tobacco, I have a feeling it'd be even more narrow. So I'm not sure what that's for. It doesn't say. And then included with it, because it came with it. No, I'm sorry. It came with it when I found it, but I'm not sure this started with it. It's a polishing cloth. So it's an old polishing cloth, an old Stanley easy shine cloth for shoes, belts, and luggage. The polish is in the cloth. I think that's kind of cool all by itself.
That is very cool.
But I'm assuming it was folded and it does fit in the box. So I'm assuming that maybe they were using that to polish the leather on the pouch. So I'm keeping them together. So it is the Yorkshire tobacco pouch with the cool advertising box and the leather polish. Get the whole thing for $10. So $10. Yeah, you could put your cell phone in there. Put $10 and you get that by giving me number 41. $10, 41 for the tobacco lot.
Now, Cheryl and Cam brought up a good point. They're saying maybe matches or a lighter in the side pocket.
Oh, that would make sense. A lighter would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, that would fit well.
Yeah, and that would probably be like height-wise. That'd probably be, you'd be able to reach it. Matches would probably fall to the bottom. That might have a hard time, but I bet a lighter would actually fit really nicely in there. And
now, what is the little thing that's sticking out in the graphic? I was curious about that.
Oh, it's his hand.
Oh, his hand.
So it's the arm, and then his fingers are squeezing at the bottom. So yes, it's like a little disembodied arm that is showing how to open up the. Oh, okay. And then Susan's saying maybe that little metal ring is the tamper.
That would make sense.
Okay, and that's what I first was thinking. That seems like if it's too much tobacco, you wouldn't be able to reach that. So it looks like we don't have any takers on that. So that'll set to the side.
You could even have that for Halloween with the little disembodied arm sticking out of the graphic.
There you go. Moving into, I love ephemera. I don't know if Catherine is still here, but Catherine Young loves ephemera too. I have a cool, one of my favorite cookbooks that I had picked up. So this is The Wonderful World of Cooking. It was originally part of his series because you can see this is volume 1. What I really thought was fun about this one, and this is something Katie and I talk about all the time, is looking how to date something based on zip codes. And this one is fascinating because if you look at the return address, it shows Los Angeles, California with a 5-digit zip code, which, Katie, what does that mean?
That means that zip code is after 1963, because in 1963, that is when 5-digit zip codes were introduced. Now, in the late 40s, they did have 2-digit zip codes for large cities, so think like New York and LA, but it wasn't until 1963 we got the 5-digit zip codes.
And 2-digit zip codes for places like Chicago. So this is a weird little capture in time where the brochure has been updated to have the 5-digit zip code, but the mailing address that they have for their customers still were showing the 2-digit zip codes. So this was probably done in 63 or 64 because at that point, all the people had not updated their zip codes to the new format. So, so we've got an early 60s Wonderful World of Cooking with valuable coupons. There's some great ads in here. All these have full page ads for Trend dish soap. Let's see what else we got. We got Contadina tomato sauce. We've got there's little graphics for some of the recipes have little graphics that go along with them. International flavors. We got a little article about international flavor for Blanquette de Veau, white veal stew. Let's see what other.
That actually could be pretty good. I love veal.
Cook's potpourri. So there's just some fun graphics, some stuff that like if you wanted to cut this apart would be either great for framing or even for junk journaling because you've got all these little graphics on there. But you can also do some vintage recipes for when some of us crazy people start posting challenges for how to making vintage recipes. So, Wonderful World of Cooking. It's a $5 cookbook, $5 by giving me number 52. $5.52 for the Wonderful World of Cooking.
I gotta say, I love that globe with the flags around the front. That is a very cool graphic.
Yeah. And just even like the little lobster graphic,
Yeah,
literally the T-bone steak with
the ham hock.
Yeah, so like 60s, they wanted to make cooking fun. Sometimes you forget about that.
And colorful. I mean, it's a very cool little item.
All right. We also had another dog that had been found in the box that I found. This one I decided to sell individually because this was donated by Emancipation 300 Michelle, and she actually had done the research, which I greatly appreciated. It is a Goldammer poodle. It's Goldammer San Francisco ceramics. So I would say this is, because of the way those flowers are done, I would say this is probably 60s. I think she had said it was 50s. And that's when a lot of the Goldammer stuff was made, but it's not marked in any way. There was an old foil label on there, but it's completely illegible. So I don't know exactly how old this would be, but it's an absolutely gorgeous poodle planter, perfect condition, no chips, no cracks, super adorable. All of the proceeds for this item is, again, going to Just One More Dachshund because Emancipation 300 Michelle donated it, and it should have sold in the original fundraiser, and I left it in a box. So it is being sold here. And you can get it for $200 or $200. Sorry,
$200.
For 20. It's a good deal. $20. So you get it for $20. $20 for the Goldammer San Francisco by giving me number 53. $20, number 53 for the Goldammer poodle.
That is an adorable little poodle. And yeah, maybe he's late 50s, early 60s, something like that. Because those flowers are very 60s to me.
Yeah, and the poodles, poodles were really popular in the 50s, but, they've been popular for a really long time. So you never know.
I don't think poodles are ever going to go out of style. They're just a classic dog.
Absolutely. All right. Next item is actually a recent pickup. And it was we've done some shows. Katie and I have done some talks on cake decorating and cake toppers. And this was just a fun cake. Let me go back to full screen. This is a cake decorating set. So it's cake decorator. It's got the little metal tube with the little fixtures on it. And what's great about it is it's all intact. So you still have the paper insert with the cover, with the ring. I'll get that later. It'll go back in there. So add that master's touch to your home baking 6 distinct patterns. So each one of those has a little pattern on it. To me, the box is a little rough, but I think the box is what makes this cool. It was held together by tape, but it's very old tape. So you've got, how to write Lorraine's name. You've got instructions of what each of the individual tips can make. So we've got this fun little piece. Cake decorator, you can use it functionally, probably would still work as a cake decorating piece. Time-wise, I don't know if there was anything on here that actually, it's Lorraine Novelty Manufacturing in Bridgeport, Connecticut. It does not show a zip code, but I'm not sure Bridgeport would have gotten a zip code in the 4863. But there's no copyright or anything on there. But I would think that this, what would you say? I would say this is kind of a 40s look.
I was going to say very 40s, the way the box is. I mean, you can just sort of tell by some of that cardboard, Mm-hmm. And even though war was going on then, cakes were a very big deal then. And I just think that's super cool. And the graphics are awesome.
Yeah. So this is $8. So $8 for the little cake decorating set. $8 by giving me number 5. $8, number 5 for the cake decorator.
I just think that is fantastic. I would put that in my kitchen propped up in a little vignette. And it is just fantastic. You could probably still use the little tips too if you wanted to.
I would think so. Absolutely. All right. So the next lot is kind of it's a mixed lot because I had some individual pieces that I had picked up over time and really wasn't sure what to do with them individually. partially because I don't like selling things that have damage. And so I've got a couple of items that fall into the porcelain, decorative porcelain, that grand millennial, that, you know, that the cottage core. There are some great little porcelain pitcher with some lavender colored flowers on it. This is actually a Grindley piece. So WH Grindley, so an ironstone. It has a tiny little chip on the spout. Then you've got this great bird decorated kind of with an Asian style. I couldn't find the mark. It has an anchor painted on the back, but that's the only indication. So I'm not sure who made this, or if it was sold as a blank and somebody hand painted it. But they did some great job with the color on both the cockerel as well as the shields going all the way around. But same thing, there's a tiny little chip here in the gold. And I think that was the only one. Yeah, so it's just a little chip in the gold. And then this I think is a coaster. It's a little big for a butter pat, but it might be a butter pat. You can see some of the gold has been worn off on this. This one is not marked. So you've got 3 pieces. Hey, Angela. So you've got 3 pieces of porcelain, really for decorative. You're not going to use these because of the chips, that you wouldn't be able to, wash them or anything like that. These are the types of things, like I actually have all of my copper luster pitchers are currently sitting in one of my crocks, because when I decorated for Christmas, I had to figure out where to put them. I actually put them in a large bowl and they look great. This would look great sitting in a large bowl. This would look great in the back of a vignette or at the base of a vignette, either, bird themed, Asian themed, or just with those colors, because there's some great colors. Not going to be for everybody, because, there are people like me that want everything to be perfect. But if you're like that shabby chic look, you get all 3 of these pieces for only $10. So $10 for all 3 of the pieces of porcelain, the bird plate, the floral pitcher, and the coaster / butter pat. $10 by giving me number 63. $10.63 for the lot.
And I just did a little Google on anchor porcelain marks, and I saw a chart that came up that says that anchor might be Chelsea porcelain from England, but I'm not 100% sure. It was just something that came up, which I think is interesting. And I do see a taker on that, and I believe that's going to Sandra K. So thank you so much, Sandra. That is a gorgeous lot.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Sandra. And all right. Next item. This is actually an item that I've had for a little while. I think I might have even tried to sell it once before, but the problem was, actually, we're gonna do a pop quiz. Katie, you already know what this is. Does anyone know what this is?
That's a good question for the chat.
Yes. So it has a solid base that would sit upright like this. You would put water in this, and then you'd have this piece, which you can flip upside down. But when it stores, okay, they all got it.
Lots of people are getting.
Lisa, I didn't know Lisa was in the chat. Another night owl. It is a butterbell. It is a butterbell from Vermont, from Brattleboro, Vermont. Sorry, Sam, we crossed the border. We went into Vermont. So it is a signed piece, and I picked it up because it is a signed piece, and they go for a pretty decent penny. And I think it's beautiful. However, somebody either didn't know what it was for or didn't care, and they used the butter portion of it as a pen holder.
Oh,
and
no.
What I was surprised is that I could not get the ink out. So this soaked, full disclosure, this soaked for a couple of days trying to get that out, and it didn't even make a dent. So I don't know if there's different, scouring. I didn't try to get into the Polident or, the denture cleaners or that kind of stuff. It was really at the point where, unless this gets 100% cleaned out, no one is going to want to use this for butter. So it is still a butter bell, but basically what you're buying now is a cash po. You just have a nice little bowl that you could use for, your air plant, put a potted plant in. This is in perfect condition, no chips, no cracks. They did not use this for their pens. So this is perfectly fine. And it has a beautiful design. And again, it is a signed piece. If it was all together and in perfect condition, this would be about a $40 piece. because it's not in perfect condition, and I'm basically selling it as either a decorative object or just to be able to use the pot to throw, your change in. $6. So $6 for the Brattleboro, Vermont Butterbell by giving me number 21. $6, number 21 for the Butterbell. I did not try bleach, Cheryl, because to a certain extent, it just didn't seem like it was going away enough that bleach was going to make a difference. And I also wanted to be very careful. I didn't want to like cosmetically cover it up and then have somebody try to use it for butter. So I'm like, you know what? You're getting it. You know what you're getting. And hopefully if somebody has the tricks, like you guys could do it. Maybe you guys could clean it out. But yeah, so like Nancy said, it's hard to get out.
So Sandy is picking up number 21, and there is a message from Sandra K. She said, I want the pitcher and the coaster, but can you keep the plate and try it again?
Sure.
Okay, so fantastic. We've got that squared away.
Yeah, they're inexpensive to ship to you.
I don't know that bleach would work very well on that piece, but you guys, if you get it, you can try it and see what works.
And Sandra, I will throw in an extra butter pat, another butter pat, just so you since you're paying $10, I'll give you something else to kind of fill in the gap. So I'll give you another butter pat.
Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, you can still use it, Cheryl, as a pin holder if you want, and then it won't matter.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that was what was weird about it, because really, if you use this as the pen holder, you still would have had this sitting somewhere, because once the pin set in there, you couldn't put the lid back on. So I mean, I will say when I found it, it was on display like this, and with the signature on the top, and then this is what's finished. So it's just one of those cases that, they just didn't seem to know what they had.
Yesterday, I was at the Goodwill, and our Goodwills aren't particularly great, but I did find a teacup.
The Goodwills are mediocre wills.
Yeah, they're not Goodwills. But I did find this teacup, and I was walking around the corner. I'm like, oh, that looks old. And then I got to it, and someone had super glued it to something else and made this very odd assemblage with faux pearls and a candle that was half melted on the inside, and then a creepy little bug-eyed doll that was staring at me. I'm like, what is this?
The latest at the place that I do a lot of my sourcing, I think they got an estate or somebody that had done these, and I don't know if they'd done them for resale or if they did them because they thought they were decorative and just had a bunch of them, but they were taking porcelain plates and gluing them to the top of glass candlestick holders.
No.
And it's just like, okay, now none of the glass seemed to be high quality glass. None of the plates seemed to be like high, but it looked like they were epoxied, to try and hold it together. And they just don't look right. So in some cases it's just like, I'm sorry, what are you trying to do? All right. So a couple of weeks ago, I did a duo die. I've got to keep these straight. I did a duo die with Katie, and we talked about my Picard and Stouffer all over gold collection. But I actually have some Picard that is not all over gold. And so I'm selling some of it here because it's a Christmas pattern. So you've got the tulip bowl or the lotus bowl with the Picard China stamp on the bottom. This stamp was starting to be used in the 40s, and they still use it today. So it's very difficult to date some of their pieces based on the stamps once we get into this level of stamp. This is probably 80s or 90s, just based on the decor. It's that cream china that was really popular. Kind of think of like Lenox, even like Belique. But you've got the holly leaf and berries painted on the sides. And then to go with it, you have the matching salt and pepper shakers also with the holly leaf and berries. They both still have the stoppers in them, so you could use them as functional salt and pepper shakers. But at this point, I think they would just look cool in a Christmas vignette because you've got a very traditional Christmas look in the cream china with the gold accents with the holly. So, very, very traditional. Picard is a high quality hard paste porcelain. It's still being sold today. You might even be able to find this still being sold today. So it is one of those cases that this is where thrifting and buying through resellers, can save you a little bit of money. because what I'm selling the entire set for, you probably couldn't even find the salt and pepper shakers for that now, new. So it's $15 for the set. $15 for the salt and pepper shakers and the Picard, all of it is Picard salt and pepper shakers and the Picard bowl. $15 by giving me number 50. $15, number 50.
And that is a fantastic little lot there, Patrick. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And yes, I wish I had photos, but I don't have photos of the very weird thing. It was next to some used baby pacifiers, if that does help add to it.
That's not right.
It was just a bizarre day at the Goodwill. Yes, crimes against porcelain, Nate. I agree.
Excellent. All right, next piece. If you follow me on Instagram, I had been a little busy this week and didn't do as much promotion on Instagram. I was trying to announce the new date, but this is one of the items that I put up, so hopefully it'll show up on here. It is a printer's block.
Oh, that's so cool.
It is a printer's block for U.S. Glass Company from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So trying to get the light to hit it in the right way. We could do this. There it is. So you've got the profile of a woman in a ring with little dots going around it, and it says U.S. Glass Company, and then underneath it says Pittsburgh, PA. So you have, and again, because of the printer's block, it's in reverse. So when you print it, it would actually show up properly. So if you've got an industrial decor, or you want something to go up against your glass collection, or if you collect U.S. Glass, which is a company I'm not familiar with, so I don't know if Halem and Melody are familiar with U.S. Glass, because I know they're in Pittsburgh. It's just a cool little piece. It's just got a great look to it. And I think it'd be a fun item for your collection or a fun item for a gift. And it's $8 for the U.S. Glass print block. $8 by giving me number 33. $8, number 33.
That is fantastic. U.S. Glass made some early glass, including coin, and they were the first makers of coin glass. But what's interesting about that is the U.S. government put a cease and desist on that a few months after, even less than a few months after they started producing it, because they were using real coins to make the coin glass. So the U.S. government felt like they were actually counterfeiting money. And, they tried with the U.S. government to say, someone's going to have to bash the coin glass and have to actually get the little medallions out.
So was it embedded in the glass, or was it like a glued to the glass, or like molded onto the glass?
It was molded into the glass.
Into the glass, yeah.
But the U.S. government still felt that it was illegal, so they banned it. And it wasn't until the 50s when Fostoria started doing glass that they made their own version of coin, but they made sure not to copy anything from the actual coin. So that's pretty interesting. So Sandra K is getting 33.
Excellent. All right. The next item, I think I also might have shown this on Instagram as well. So the Panetta brooch that I showed, that is on my eBay store. But this is part of the live sale. So this is a white metal. Okay, who are the botanists in the? It's too long to be an oak leaf. Is it a fern? What kind of leaf is that, Katie?
I don't know. It seems a little bit too pointed to be fern on the edges, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, so I don't know what kind of leaves they are, but I do believe they're leaves, not feathers. But you've got there's two rings at the bottom, so they go dimensionally into the rings, and the ring goes all the way around. And then you've got the Y mounted back, but it is not riveted on. So based on what Katie has taught me, I don't think this is necessarily getting back into the 50s or the 60s. So what would you say this is, Katie?
Yeah, with the Y back, I do think it puts a little bit of age to it, but I wouldn't say 50s or 60s. I would probably say more like 80s maybe, but I could be wrong. I did see that Peterson saying holly. I don't know. I think that's long for holly, isn't it? Okay, Sandra's saying fern. It could be fern.
Let's have a visual aid.
Yeah, I think that's a little long.
Yeah, I don't think holly leaves would be that long. They've got the pointiness to them, so Peterson's got it on that. But yeah, I think the holly leaves that you see here, that's more what I'm used to seeing.
Maybe fern. I don't know. Now Nate's saying honeysuckle leaf, so he's blowing us all out of the water.
Okay,
I've never heard of.
Yeah, so I have no idea. So anyway, I don't think it really matters, and I don't think you're gonna have a botanist coming up coming up to you trying to say, wait, why are you wearing that pin? Identify it or give it up. So it is just white metal. It's not signed that I could find. It's, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. I mean, it's relatively thin metal, so it's very lightweight. But they did a really nice job with those rings. You know, they kept it, they made the rings and then turned it into part of the jewelry. They didn't just like fake the back. So I just kind of liked it, and there's just some really nice detail to it. So I was really happy when I found that one. And you know, so it's not like super old, not super like high-end decorative, but thought it was a nice piece for $9. So $9 for the whatever leaf and ring brooch. $9. Hashtag bring back the brooch by giving me number 13. $9, number 13 for the silver tone brooch.
And I would also say it's a little older simply because in the 50s, they didn't do a ton of silver brooches. Now, there are some, don't get me wrong, but gold seemed to be the in metal at the time. So I don't usually see a ton of brooches of a different silver tone from the 50s. Now, I do see Sandy picking up number 13. So she is helping us bring back the brooch.
All right. So that was 13 for Sandy. All right. The next piece was also on my Instagram, and was my personal favorite comment was from Nancy at This Overstuffed House, where she said, which drag queen lost his poodle? So you've got a poodle with a fairly elaborate headdress, crown, tiara, whatever, jeweled necklace. And then it's actually, when I first looked at it, I didn't realize that there were two poodle puppies. I thought that was just like extensions of her feet. So you've got a set of poodles, the mama poodle, I'm going to assume, or the drag queen poodle, with the two baby poodles on the bottom. It is a Lefton piece. Lefton's patent registered. So this is one of the earlier ones. This is the tag from the 50s. Technically, it is an ashtray because you've got the little crescent up here at the top that's painted gold and the little crescent on the bottom down here that's painted gold. So technically it's an ashtray, but it's a very long tray that has nothing to do with there's no ashtray or nothing in the middle. So this to me ends up being a dresser tray. You can put your brush in there. You can put, whatever you want to do with it. Ignore the fact that it was once you use it as a pen rest. You can do whatever you want with it, because this, I don't do kitschy very often. I will pick it up. I just don't come across it very often. So when I do, I want to make it epic. So we've got the 50s. This would be the 50s poodle, highly decorated from Lefton with this stamp and the original mark. Perfect condition, no chips, no cracks. Absolutely fantastic. And it is $20. I did find one that had sold a few weeks ago on eBay. It sold for $35. So for this, we're doing 20. So $20 for the Lefton poodle tray / ashtray. $20 by giving me number 66. $20, number 66 for the poodle.
That is pretty spectacular, Patrick. And I love when the Lefton has the old stickers still on it, because it's a great way to date the Lefton. Yep. They have different stickers for those of you that don't know. And I do see Judy Scallop picking that up. She loves her ashtrays. So, Judy, that is going to be fabulous in your collection.
Fantastic. Congratulations, Judy. Thanks for picking that up. All right. The next piece is a set of tin cups. So if you want to be a little peddler and, go down the street with your monkey, you have a set of tin cups that have a railroad theme to them. So where are my Minnesotans? We've got the Minnetonka Railroad steam engine on this one. This one is the fire wagon. So this is actually a little car. So that's fire wagon. Then this one is the Governor Stanford. So another steam engine. And the last one is, I'm not even sure what that would be. That's another fire wagon, or if that's some sort of a boiler. So it's a set of 4 of these tin cups. They are not marked. They're very, very lightweight. I'm going to assume there is some age to them. There's a little bit of wear at the very bottom, like where they were displayed. I can't imagine these would be used to necessarily drink out of, because I'm going to guess this is lead paint. But if you've got a locomotive lover in your life, how cool are these? So you can stack them, you can use them all for individual pen cups, whatever you want to do. They've all got this like brownish mustard yellow color on the background, and they're all completely painted in the bottom. No additional marks, no maker or anything. So I don't know where these came from.
It does seem like they've sealed the paint on the front.
Yes, and I just caught this in the light. You can see the edge. These were decals, so these were not hand painted. That each of these were decals that went onto there, but they're not ceramic. These are metal. So they're a set of tin cups, kind of cool, kind of different. I never come across them before, so I made them kind of cheap, $10. So $10 for the set of 4 of the locomotive, train, and fire wagon cups. $10 by giving me number 7. $10, number 7 for the set of 4.
And I think on a mug tree, those would look really cool if you had a cabin theme or industrial, or wanted to do something just in your kitchen, because those are just awesome.
And they definitely make noise, so you can attract some attention.
Yeah, and as I said, midnight, bang them together.
There you go. As I mentioned, I was doing a shorter sale tonight, so I only have one item left. So the last item, actually, Katie helped me with. She was one of my go-to people anytime I talk about the Rusty and Crusty and Dusty. And she recommended that I pick this up. It's the Judson Thompson Manufacturing, the Rivet tin. This one is the smaller one. She has the bigger version of it. And so she passed this on. She blessed this to be sold. So she has the larger one. But because of the color, because of the graphics that are on there, and then also the size, it definitely has that Rusty and Crusty going. The bigger one that she has is by far the more valuable one, far more expensive, but this one has its own value as well. So I found a few of these on eBay and decided, instead of selling it on eBay, I'll just sell them here. So this one is a clinch. I don't even know what a clinch rivet is. A Thompson slotted clinch rivet. You get your own little Rusty and Crusty, blessed by Katie, for $10. So $10 for the rivet tin by giving me number 35. $10, 35 for the rivet tin.
And that's a nice example of an early tin. My rivet tin is actually marked with a patent date of 1895 on the rivet. So it is an earlier tin, guys, and it's one that, you don't come across very often in the wild. At least I don't. So for us tin collectors, that's pretty cool. You would have hammered those rivets in. And they're just super fantastic. So great graphics, nice size, because the large one's pretty big. So you can tuck this into your tiered trays, your vignettes, and it's cool to have something that early. So really a great piece.
And it looks like you talked Sandra Kay into picking that one up.
Fantastic, Sandra. You're going to love it. The graphics are stellar. And even on the outside, there's little fall autumn leaves going around, those maple leaves. They're just gorgeous.
So I'm just scrolling through really quick, making sure I've got all of Nate's notes. I did have some items that didn't sell, but for those that have been with me for this whole time, once again, thank you for joining Trusty's late night vintage sale. If you've seen everything, you can go your merry way and appreciate your time and hanging out with us. Hope you had fun. This is a later hour. I've got to make sure I can maintain my energy on this later time after being on stage for a couple of hours. But we'll see how this ends up working. We've got another scheduling issue next week. Well, I'll let people know. I'm not 100% sure I'm going to even have a sale next week, even with the new time. It's the holidays on top of everything else, and I still have a job, so we have to balance it all. So this was a short sale. If you did come in later and you want to see any of the items that have not sold, I can show them. I will show them. But if you've been with us, again, thank you so much. So Katie, what do you have coming up on your channel? If anyone's not following Katie, make sure you're subscribed to Vintage and Vinyl. And what do you got coming up on your channel?
Well, tomorrow I'm very excited. I'm doing something a little bit different. So Fatbird Finds is not having Flippin' and Sippin' for the month of December. So Angela and I are cooking up something fun. We are having a car hop, and we are going to have rotating guests on tomorrow evening. So we've got quite a few guests that have already agreed to be on. So they'll be rotating in and out through the evening. Now, this is no way of a replacement for Fatbird Finds. This is something fun to do in the meantime while they are taking a break, because everybody needs a little. And I muted
I was
myself.
just saying, also you're all of a sudden I stopped hearing. I'm like, my God, what's going on with StreamYard today?
That will be tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern, and sneak peek, Patrick's one of the guests popping on, so make sure you tune in for
and
that.
You had said, I don't remember if you'd said it tonight. I was looking at my list because Fatbird Finds is not going to be on tomorrow night, right?
Right.
So you're basically, so we're all just swapping spots a little bit here. So yeah, so we're not trying to, no one's trying to supplant Fatbird Finds. They're taking that night off. So Angela and Katie will be doing it on Katie's channel.
Yeah.
So yes,
and we'll be doing this throughout the month of December, since Fatbird Finds will be taking the whole month off. So we'll just be having all kinds of fun. So that will be neat. It'll be kind of like a get to know me. We'll have some trivia questions, just some fun things to kind of boost the community, give people a place to go on Friday night. So that will be fun. And then on Sunday, I'm hosting Tales from the Triptych with Patrick and Nate. So that will be at 8:00 p.m. Eastern on Uranium Glass. So make sure you tune into that. And then on Friday, I'll have my regular record video coming out. So tomorrow, I've got my special Record Store Day Shop With Me video that's coming tomorrow. So if you want to follow my Record Store Day adventures, then tune into that video, which we'll be releasing.
Answer to Gina's question, I would say they have the ability to hold coffee, but I would put a very hard no in actually using it for coffee because this is a painted surface, and you can see in some of the wear where some of the paint is coming off. I don't like it is a rolled seam inside that I do think it would be watertight, and I could test it. But again, I would really not want someone to use this for any sort of beverage because I think they're designed to be decorative. And maybe once upon a time they would have been sealed or something, but I really feel that this surface is not uniform enough and has not been fired on to the point that would be safe to do any sort of beverage in it. So thank you for clarifying that. Thank you. I'm glad you asked, but yes. So I think probably it could hold liquid, but I wouldn't recommend it. So the triptych on Sunday. And then next week, we've got a couple things going on. So on Tuesday, I am going to be doing a drop sale with Beth from Carolina Princess Sweet Treats and Pretties. She has people selling all day long. We're all dropping our videos at each one of us is dropping at the top of each hour from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. So there'll be an entire day of drops. Pamela was just added to the list. So she's the last one. I think Stephanie is after me. I'm at 6 p.m. Eastern. It will not be a premiere. I will just drop a pre-recorded video because that is also when I will be on stage. I will have rehearsals. So that'll be an all vintage Christmas.
Fun.
So that'll be all vintage Christmas. So that will drop on Tuesday. Mine will drop at 6 p.m. Eastern, but there will be videos dropping on throughout the day. So watch Carolina Princess's channel. She has links to all the people that'll be dropping. So watch for those. And then on Wednesday, Katie is going to be on my channel along with a handful of others. We are going to be making our vintage Christmas ornament kits. So we all have a slightly different kit. Mine is the Celestial. Hers is the Madame Dewberry. Some people have beads. I basically came across a set of these at an estate sale and had enough to send them to 6 of my friends. And so joining me on Wednesday night will be Katie. It's like a pop quiz. Katie, Miss Pam, and Kelly, because they got a kit that makes 2. So they will both be on. Fatbird Finds, they got a kit that makes 3. So they will both be joining along with Nikki. Then we've also got Catherine Young Creates will be on there. Beth from Sweet Treats, Carolina Princess Sweet Treats and Pretties. Rebecca from Kitschy and Bitchy. And who did I miss?
I think you got everybody.
Did I get everybody?
I think you did.
So there's a total of 7 of us. So the one person had to, unfortunately, had to cancel. So there's going to be a weird screen because there'll be an uneven number of us. But there's going to be 7, and I'm just looking because I thought I only listed off 6. Nope, I named them all. So okay. So yeah, so that'll be Wednesday during our normal duo dive slot. So that'll be at the 9:30 p.m. Eastern time on my channel. because Katie and I go back and forth on hosting the duo dive. So I will be hosting that, and we will be making our crafts live on air. Now, we may not finish. We may not finish our crafts, and some people have considered that they may not make what the kit says to make. So we may have a little bit of cheating. And I think
I see that Gina is taking 5. Halem is taking the tobacco pouch.
I got Halem for the tobacco. So the number 5 was the cake decorating kit. So that will go to Gina Marie. So thank you so much, Gina, for picking that up. So the items that did not sell were the Picard Christmas items. So the Lotus Bowl with the matching salt and pepper shakers. That was $15. Number 50. That was for the set of Picard china. The cookbook, the 1960s cookbook, did not sell. That was $5. Number 52. And actually the fundraiser piece. So this was for the Doxies. This was the Goldammer ceramic San Francisco china. That was $20, number 53. And that all $20 goes to the fundraiser, because this was one of the items that I forgot to sell during the live sale itself.
Those are all great items.
So appreciate, again, people hanging out. So Catherine's saying she's not cheating. She's being creative, and that's totally allowed. I told everyone they could open the kit that they got, but they didn't need to start making it, and preferably not start making it, so that we can all try and make it together. But I want to say Catherine's was a different style. So mine is the one that has the little beads on it. And I think that's what Katie has as well.
Yeah, I think
Catherine's, I want to say, is a string of beads, like that somehow you're supposed to like string them together on a wire and make something that's 3-dimensional. And so and it wasn't on purpose. It was I just had a mixed lot of them, and not all of them were this style. I remember doing these growing up, and I had fun making them, but a couple of them were different. So Jacqueline is taking the cookbook, and that is not too late. So we will add you, and I can include that in your mystery box, because it won't weigh anything. So you won't pay any additional costs.
And Mary, Reclaim Treasures by Mary, is taking the poodle. So fantastic, Mary.
Oh, thank you so much, Mary.
The dogs will love you.
Yes, really appreciate it, because that for tonight, the jug sold and the poodle sold. So those were the two. So that was 30. And then I sold the 3 mystery boxes for 75. So we raised $105 just for the Doxies tonight. So that clearly gets us over the $4,500 mark. So that was my goal. So thank you so much for buying those items and picking up all the other things. So, and Mr. and Mrs. Katie Girl. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, I don't think that has anything to do with here.
All right. So and then so the triptych again is with Nate. So Katie will have it this Sunday. Nate will host the following one. So that one rotates between the 3 of us. Katie and I rotate between the 2 of us for the duo dive. So mine's on Wednesday, then she will pick up the following Wednesday. So if you're new to my channel, I hope you enjoyed this evening. I purposely tried to keep this relatively short because it is later for most of us. Not used to doing this late in the evening. I will try and get out invoices for those who have not purchased from me before. I will try and get out invoices by this weekend so I can start shipping on Monday. So watch for that. If you have not purchased from me before, and I think all of you have, but if it's been a while, drop me an email and just make sure I've got your most current address. I actually just had a situation where somebody had moved and I didn't reflect that. Oops. So yeah, let me know. But glad you guys could all hang out. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for putting your trust in Trusty Huckster. Enjoy the rest of the evening, everyone, and talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye, friends.